G'day everyone, welcome along, welcome to Steelhorse Station. I can see we have Peter and John in the house and possibly one or two others, so thank you very much for joining us. Yes, John, I'm always glad you can pop in and catch us for a minute before you head off to start the working week there in the UK. It's, of course, Monday evening here in Australia, and so welcome that wherever you are around the world. We might just jump across because where are we here? We are on the oaks. I need to press a button, and that should give you a screen to look at. And we've got some markers on which we can turn off somewhere. It's a sunny morning here on the oaks. Let's save that. Oh, let's go to pounds as well while we're there. I find it most annoying that it doesn't save the currency in with the save game. So that when you're switching, particularly when you're switching countries, you end up having to change all your settings, which I occasionally forget. But there we go. Lovely beginning of March morning here today. So just refreshing everybody as to where we're at. We had commenced ploughing. There's a tractor over there. This field. We need to get some seed in. So the current plan that we're working towards is this field and the one just next door there. We're going to attempt to seed with oats. We should manage to get that done because I think we've got enough seed to get that sorted out. Let's go to the nearest waypoint and send you on your way. That looks like it might be Penny driving there. But yeah, a bit more work to plough this field. We may or may not, you can see from the soil reading that the pH is bad. So it would be good if we could get lime on the field, but we don't have any lime, and we might just have to play that a little bit by ear. This field's over here. If we just push through the hedge here, the grass is still growing, so the idea will be to let that grow so that we can cut it next month. What I'm thinking in here is that we might plant it with corn, not intending to harvest it as corn, but to chaff it instead, because that field's big enough it would provide us a heap of chaff, which potentially could be really handy for us in our silos there. We've obviously, of course, got this grass field here that we won't put a crop in, we'll just leave as grass. And we've got a grass field just next door. So sort of the plan is to next month see if we can fill this bunker up with grass and make a whole heap of silage, because that'll be our profit. This silage pit here is our mortgage clamp, and so that's the silage we're paying the mortgage with each month. But that's the basic state of play. Now, in terms of equipment, what have we got here? We know we can run the seeder, the smaller seeder, on this tractor. So what I'm thinking we might do is take advantage of the good weather and the field that we've already seeded, already ploughed, the smallest of our arable fields, Now the question is how much. We know we've got some seed. There's 400 litres of seed in there. What about... Let's have a look at the map here and see what's what. So field 62 is the smallest of our fields. And I think if we use this as just, oops, this is just a little bit of a guide. How much lime would it take? Because I'm pretty sure it needs lime as well. Up in our list, goodness me, still just go straight past. So it's going to take the best part of 3 bags of lime, and then the field next door is going to take another 6 or so, given that they're 10 a bag. Oh, sorry, 2,000 a bag. Is there a lime sell point on the map? I think there might be, you know, we might be able to get a truckload. Let's just see what that would do to us for expense. So if we come down here to lime somewhere, road salt, lime, there is no sell point for lime, okay. So we would have to buy it from the store, which means we're buying it in bags at 350 if I'm not mistaken. Where are we? Big bags of lime, 350 for 2,000 litres. So we would need, let's call it 10 bags, which we can afford at the moment. So I don't think I've got any other clever. Doesn't look like it. Just the regulars. So what I think we might do is what do we got here? Got a bale trailer and we've got a ute. I reckon let's take the Defender. How are you going to go with that trailer? I think if we lay it out well, I mean, we could send the truck, but that just sort of feels potentially overkill. Mind you, that is a big trailer for that. But if we balance the bags in the middle, I think we'll be fine. So what we'll do is we'll drive up and organise ourselves some lime, and then we can spread that. And see where we go from there. I don't want to put the seed in the ground until we've got the lime down. So we'll just have to play it by ear a little bit, I think. Now we've also got a contract for fertilizer, which we can potentially deal with a bit once we sort of get some work going, some more work going on our fields. I think we might go up and have a crack at the fertilizer. Oops. Really interesting seeing that the balloon up there, or the I know it's a the other side of the country, but the last time I was in the British countryside, I was visiting friends who live in a converted farmhouse just outside Bath, and it's a lovely spot. And it was an August evening. We'd had a bit of a barbecue. It was just a gorgeous day, and a balloon just like the one we just saw there landed literally in the field next door. It was all a bit of impromptu excitement. Now, where am I going on the map here? I'm good. So, as much as you might say it's potentially unrealistic, these things do happen. It wasn't a million miles from here, but a couple of hundred maybe. Jack Sarge, welcome in, sir. I am excellent this Monday, 20th of February, if I'm not mistaken. Summer's decided to put in an appearance of sorts for the last week or so, so still wearing t-shirts in the evening, which is pleasant. Is anybody Mark Haythorne Wade, welcome along, sir. Is anybody in chat got up to anything interesting over the weekend? I know you're potentially waiting with bated breath for a video from me, but YouTube's taking its sweet time to do the high definition processing on the latest episode of Griffin, so hopefully that'll be done later on tonight and I can activate that one. Ah, okay, so there are ballooning adventures all over Britain, or at least England. I would imagine as you get a little bit further north into parts of Scotland, there are areas where you don't, it becomes a little riskier. There are some fairly chilly bodies of water that you'd rather not end up in a balloon, I'm guessing. Right, so let us see. So my guesstimate is 10 bags of lime. So let's go with 10. Yeah, money's a problem, so let's just not overextend. Now, the store very conveniently organised some equipment. There's Mr. Sealy P's favourite accessory. Let's see if I can manage to drive it somewhat successfully. Right, there we go. Damage I get 3. I was going for 4, but we'll see. We won't get too fussed about it. much fuss. Depth. Did I get 4 that time? I did. It doesn't like 4. 4 bags of crushed rock are heavy. Who knew? Yeah, okay. You don't like it, I get it. Now watch, I'll be unable to pick up 3. Oh well, 2 will do. Not too much drama. Mind you, it's fairly maneuverable, this little JCB, or medium-sized JCB, I guess you'd call it. Sit on there. Yep. Very good. So the reason we're getting the lime for the folks that have just joined is we're trying to get out a little bit of crop in the ground for our own fields, so that we kind of get that out of the way, or we get ourselves a little bit better set up than we have been. Oh, okay, I'll take one. I'm not going to go there with just one. Come on. This is ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, they want to pick up one? You can only have one. Okay. So we're thinking of oats as the planting. That's me. That's better. I'm thinking for balance, let's go rearward of the axles actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right, John. I didn't go with it first up because I wanted to see how it went. I can't remember if it's weight for it or if that is actually the weight that's on that heavy bumper there. I may already have put the weight on it, taken it as the option. I just can't remember. I'll have a look in a second. Can't look at this one, but oh, depth. I'm not usually a fan of these articulated loaders. Certainly the Schaefers I find particularly unstable. Don't fall off, that would just be annoying. That's it. Right, let's whack you back in the garage. Pretty sure there's nothing else we need up here at this stage. So, it won't show in our garage list because it's owned by the shop. So, let's see if I go to loaders. It's not that one. Front loaders. Huh. There it is. No, it must be as a separate weight. Doesn't show as a let's have a look here. Under weights. It doesn't look like it came with its own. I could put any, presumably any of the bumper mounted ones, but it doesn't look like I've actually got any of those loaded either. That one only goes on the John Deere, I think. Okay, I'll try and remember to do that as a separate activity. That would make it a little bit more user friendly. Okay, let's tie you down. Let's see if we can get you spinning the wheels a little bit here. Oh, yes. Nothing like a little bit of oversteer. I'm sure I've got a hydraulic brakes. I should have that little knob, no, little slide gauge under my dash that allows me to adjust trailer braking. That would make that a lot less annoying. What it does mean though is I don't think I can trust autodrive to drive it back. Because I reckon the first corner it'd be going way too fast. And that would happen. Let's just see. I'm going to try a little. I don't know that it's this sophisticated, but what have we got here? Let's try. No, can't pick you up. And you. Let's move you forward and see if it makes any difference at all. Well, it didn't make it worse, let's put it that way. We're managing 23 miles an hour, so now we can see if we can find the correct side of the road. I don't know. You need to get out more, John. I see plenty of people in real life that don't bother to figure out the weight balance of their trailers before they actually take to the roads. You know, if it works, it's production. If it fails, it's a test. Especially in this country, caravan drivers have to be some of the worst. It's kind of like, did you give any thought to how you pack the van? But yes, 20,000 litres of lime. I would... yes, exactly. I understood. The bigger issue is more likely to be that we wouldn't have got out of the showroom. I don't know the density of 2,000 litres of lime, but I'm tipping a bag is comfortably more than a ton. So the tow capacity, the legal tow capacity of this Defender in fine condition in Australia would be probably about the weight of the Defender. So maybe at a pinch, 3 bags you might get away with if it had some enhanced suspension and long range tanks, but that'd be about the limit. I know the big popular utes are limited to about 3.5 tons. On a fair day with a following breeze. Now I've got to remember where I'm going again. It was snowing when I came down here last week. Now this is Cantley. Let's just check. Yeah, I came one too far. Well, the long way. Not the cut-through way that I went. We're a little bit unweighted as we go over the rise. It seems to behave a little better at that movement, not enormously so, but probably if I moved those back couple of bags forward a fraction, they might be better too. Yep. This hill might be more of a test. 4th and working. Back to 3rd. Back to 2nd. No, We accelerating into third. Ouch. That would, that's very painful. I've had the odd incident where I've lost 15 or 20 minutes, but when I'm doing this sort of thing, I leave autosave on, and it's a good question as to whether it's on at the moment. Autosave is on, yes. Occasionally interrupts the stream, but it's a lot better than getting into a position where we have to go back and repeat a whole heap of stuff that we've done. So we'll leave these on the trailer. I wonder if we put a weight, have we got a weight on the front of there? We could do with the tow weight, couldn't we? Because I don't think we can run the spreader on this. We'll just see. Actually, what we could do, is be a little bit cheeky. Where is it? Somewhere around here. There it is, in British Racing Green. We might, although you hydraulic or PTO, we'll find out in a minute. Oh, it's got a PTO extension through it, has it? No. No, it's hydraulic only. Let's just... realistically, it'll hook on. We've run out of... must have run out of fuel in the tractor. I'm just curious. Oh, you're not... Yeah, you are PTO driven, so whilst it will technically work, well, it probably will work, realistically it shouldn't, so we won't do it that way. We'll go and refuel the ploughing tractor. Oops. And then what it means is we'll have to use 3610, I suspect, to do the spreading, because I just think it'll be too heavy for the smaller tractor, and we don't have a weight that will attached to the front of it. Oh, you're coming along quite nicely. Can you do it from this side? Yes, you can. Nice, efficient midfield transfer. Nearest waypoint. Off you. What are you doing? That's better. We even got Penny back. You won't need any more fuel. I wouldn't have thought just for that lot. Those of you that haven't been in before are wondering, the only reason for the unseeded border on the outside of that field is we just ran out of time as we were running into winter to get the grass in, and time and money, and so that was just as much of a cover crop as we could get sorted. So let's leave you here for the moment. Let's go put you back on the line. Now, you out of the way. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're at the back of the trailer, so hopefully you'll shovel in from there. Filling up, filling up. Oh, we might just about get away with that, you know. She's a bit light in the front, but if I can run it, it'd be really nice to get a hitch mounted weight for the front of this, just a little one, just for exactly this situation. This is a pretty good roll for this tractor if we can just balance it a little better. Now remember, you're about 18 meters wide, so let's that off. See how you go. That's not too bad. Coverage is not awful. It's not requiring a silly amount of lime on here, which is pleasant. I suspect the field next door that we're ploughing is in a lot worse shape, so that's a reasonable sign. Let's go back to the gate, because although it's really just on par with the estimate, I said 3 bags and we get 80% of a bag in here, so there's at least 3 of those tanks in there, that's for sure. Let's back you up to the gate. Down with the trailer. There we are. Mark Haythorne, mate, if you're still lurking in the background, I did make a modest smidge of progress sorting out that auction mod. So those of you that caught last week's stream might be aware. So I have the field auction mod loaded on here. But it's since the update, which changes the way field names and farm areas are labeled, it doesn't correctly reference what's at auction. So there's an auction running at the minute. Now, I was able to ascertain it's actually on that field. If we go up there. So the way it works is if you go to the field that is being auctioned, you can place a bid, which is just up here somewhere. I think it's this one. There you go. So press B to bid. 62,000. It ends in less than 107 hours. So it's this field that I'm standing on right here that's up for auction, which is this grass field. Now, as it turns out, we don't want it. So it does save a simple file which just keeps a little bit of data in it. But what I haven't been able to figure out in the lure is what's the variable that I should use to tell me where on this map is currently for sale. It used to flash with a red, like the field number used to flash red, but it doesn't. And that's all I really want to happen. So, Mark, if you happen to know that variable that I need to be using, that would be really handy just to tip me off. I can probably figure out which print statement it uses to tell me, but it's the correct variable name that's got me a bit stumped at the minute. Anyway, that was just a little aside. Let's fill you up again and get some more lime down. Let's go the other way this time. Move over a little bit. It uses farmland ID and the map shows field number. Right. And because the field that it's referencing okay. I can refer to that. And so in the case where it doesn't have a so that means it might only be visible if I get the reference right. Oops, might only be visible in here. So that's the farmland ID. And so I need to change the farmland ID to be red, and then I'd be able to see it in this view of the map. Okay, cool. And then for it to come up in the, when it comes up with an update message, I need that message that it provides as an update that comes up above where I've got sort of the course play window at the minute. Is there a field 96? As it turns out, no, there is not. But that field's definitely for sale because we know that if I go there, it gives me the option to bid on it. So, oops, let's try putting some more lime in. I can do a little bit more detective work and I think I can figure it out from there. It's an interesting little project. No worries, John. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Have a good day at work. I think it only updates the view with the field numbers on, not the farmland number. Sure. I'd have... It depends. Oh, I understand. Okay. But even so, if I scroll through the code to look at what functions adjust the view of those fields, I can potentially change it. We'll see. I can experiment with it. That's the neat thing. Oops, not quite wide enough for here. It's not the end of the world. I just thought it was it was also one of those useful projects that helps me learn a little bit about lure. I'm not very good at learning languages just by kind of reading about them. I've actually got to have something to do. The information just doesn't stick otherwise. And to be fair, I haven't actually learned a language since I was at university several decades ago, so it's all, the world's moved on. Now, if it was Pascal or Fortran, I'd be laughing. Even basic or 11780 assembler, I could probably manage. Yeah, that's true. It's just the thing that's really changed is getting the flow of the language when they're object oriented, because all of my upbringing was procedural and just how my brain got wired. So that just takes a minute to reset. I'm gonna get it all here. No, yes, no. Ooh, we might get close. Quite. And what field did I start in? I started in computer science. I studied computer science at university, but I never wrote a line of code commercially in my life because I entered the industry as a systems engineer, and that took me in a whole different direction. If I had a professional expertise, I would say number one is project management, and number two would be large scale systems engineering, performance management. Probably the two professional disciplines. What field did I start in Farm Sim? Hey, context is everything. I started on this map. I will just cover it. Welcome along, by the way, JB MTB. Just give me a second. I'll just finish here. So we're in, I probably should turn the mini map on. We're in field 62 at the minute. So we are the Putneys, Harold Putney and his family. And our little farm here has been in the family for generations. Let's just stop that there for a minute so I can concentrate and talk. So our family farmhouse is just over the road there. We've got that run-down, dilapidated looking main shed. We'll check the animals while we're here. So got a bit of work to do in here because we've sort of got a bit of a drive-through workshop, plenty of rubbish. We have a cow and a calf and a few chooks, which are doing okay at the minute. And we own all that's left of the family holdings. Oops. The field I was just liming, 62, 61, 68, 76 in this grass field. Our main yard, if you like, is just up by the grass field. But this is all that's left. And there's a $950,000 mortgage sitting over the top of all of that. Harold has 5 kids. John, Paul, George, Ringo and Penny. And they're of working age and now helping on the farm. So with any luck and a little bit better management than Harold managed to sort out on his own, they can get the farm back towards its former glory. They're concentrating on grass and forage at the moment. And that pretty much brings you up to speed. So the equipment that they have is pretty old. You can see there's 65 hours on this tractor. The one in the Penny's driving in there has got a bunch on it. So I don't know, did I answer your question along the way? Everything's done in there. What's it say? That's much better. Let's turn you round. Our trusty defender here. Why doesn't it have many hours on it? It should have a heap, judging by the condition it's in. Maybe I didn't get round to doing that one. Oop. Back the trailer over his nicely seeded lawn, seeded field. Oops. Sorry, Chief. Yeah, well, that's where we are. This is the Putney's little edge of the universe. And we won't drive back up to the main yard. You can see the main yard set up there. We've got a couple of old buildings and a couple of silage clamps, fairly sizable up there, only one of which has got any silage in it at the minute. And we can have a go at part of this field. Actually, we could lime the whole lot now, couldn't we? Won't hurt to have the lime cut. In fact, it would have been better probably to lime it before we started to plough it. So let's just do that. And we're putting about the same amount of lime on this field, so with any luck we'll get a fair old way through it. Yes, well, a 4X map, it's always going to take you a while to move stuff around. It depends on the rules you set yourself, how you start out. I think what we might do, but yes, I certainly notice it setting up the scenario for the stream and our playthrough. I've got to think about it, and that's where that's part of where the inspiration for Harold and his family came from. So to have some kids to run things around. What am I going to do here? Let's park. We're spinning the wheels trying to drag this across the ploughed field, that's for sure. A little bit of surfing in the furrows. Right, you can sit there. But gradually, as we get established, we'll get some bigger kit and find our way through. If you don't mind paying a premium, one of the mods you can try is store deliveries if you haven't used that JBMTB. So it's a mod that allows you, if you haven't seen it, to set the spawn point for your gear, so makes it a little bit easier. Alternatively, there's some good autodrive courses for the map already. So if you go to the autodrive creators, I think I've put a link to them in the description. You can pick up Farmer Ed's autodrive course, which is the one I'm using, which we have a look. Oops. You can see the icons all over the map. It's pretty extensive, so. And I've used it for quite a few activities already. There's that one. Well, this is only our, what, 7th stream on here, and the first one was really a bit of a look-see, so we're only just getting started and I'm loving it. I reckon it's a cracking map. Nope. Yeah, funnily enough, I have used it, but I don't often use it. So for instance, it's not active on here. Let's see here. For some reason, it's just one of those things I actually quite like, going to the shop and getting my purchases. It's just one of those weird little foibles that different folks like different stuff. Let's see. With autodrive, you can change the, got a little bit of control over the rate that workers get paid. Definitely going to need a bigger spreader if we're going to do lime contracts on this map, that's for sure. And a truck. That might be ahead of us, we'll see. Because I have got a mod that gives lime contracts active, so just because it struck me that something the Putneys might be able to do to help them dig out of the hole that they're in. Oops, get over there. Yes, they can, Jack Sarge. I've got them, I think I've got them at half the standard rate on here. Was in the scenario, you know, whilst they want to recover the farm, they're doing it in lieu of actually being out working at other jobs. So it's just one of those sort of things where you modify the settings a little bit to suit the scenario, make the balance the game in the way that you want. So what we can do when we get the lime spread, we'll start the seeding and put one of the kids on the other field with the oats. bit more control of workers, you know, names, and being able to configure and set up a crew that is the staff of your farm strikes me as the obvious basic set of functionality that Giants should have in the base game. You know, it's kind of up there, same sort of line as having a wardrobe and things. It's not like it's terribly logic intensive, but it does allow, you know, the user to tailor the gameplay the way that they want. And there is something, you know, a bit fun about, you know, being able to see the name of who's driving your tractor and those sorts of things. Now, I'm quite prepared for the fact that for this season's planting, we might not actually finish liming this field. So if we run out, we run out. You know, we've, to all intents and purposes, bought what we could afford. We'll get close. Or maybe not. Maybe one. Ooh. Maybe we won't. Yield off this field was pretty awful when we harvested at the commencement, so it will be better this year. Doesn't matter if it's not at the maximum. No, we're not going to get it all done. Oh well. 1 and a bit fields. No, not even close. Who did that field estimate? Nope. Okay. That's where we got to. But that's good to know. That little tractor works well. Oops, I turned on the flags. Well, that means we can probably send you off to do the fertilising, actually, because the fertiliser's not going to be heavier than the lime. So that's good to know. So fertilizer, I think I put the fertilizer in that shed there. There we go. Now, this tractor has a little bit of seed in it. And you can plant oats, so they're oats, are they not? They are oats selected. Let's back you into that shed. Good-o. Tootle down and get some oats in the little fields, which will be a nice step forward. Let's have a look here. The course set. And create a job. That's where we want to be. 3 meter widths. 4 headlands for this job should be plenty. Sharp corners. Away we go. That looks pretty good. You're going to start down the other end, which is not at all surprising. A little tootle down there. I do like this feature that came out in the most recent version of Courseplay, that the blue marker just shows you the little segment of the course that you're looking for. And we want first waypoint, off you go. Good start. You're managing that just nicely. Excellent. So, ploughing, you're about, what are you up to? 25.76 of 44.12. An hour's worth of ploughing to go, so you've got plenty of work to be going on with there, Penny. Now what we might you misbehave even with nothing in you. Interesting. Got no control of height on the drawbar, have I? No. Just a unpleasant trailer hitch. What we might do, put you back in there. Bale shed. Yeah. This is where the one downside of this vehicle is I'm pretty sure I can't actually open the back door and put anything in there, which is just a slight nuisance. Right. So let's have a look at this contract that we've got to do. It is field 28. Details on. So it reckons 4,000 litres of fertiliser. Field 28, where are we? Up there. You reckon 2,000 litres of fertiliser. The answer is probably somewhere in the middle. Either way, the 1,600 that we've got in our tractor is not going to be enough. But what we could do is drive up there and spread it. Which fertiliser have we got in the shed there? Two bags of seed. Not much. So I think what we might do is take our trusty little truck here. Leave the fuel in there. And you can go to Putney Maynard dealership. Yeah. Did you manage to get out of the gate without getting stuck? Not giving me a great feeling about having navigated out of the gate. Maybe you did. Yep. Right. So, we're on our way up to do this contract, which I think means we need to go, whoops, just pretend we turned properly at that corner. Usually happens the other way around. I drive like I'm at home in the UK and then promptly forget when I jump in a vehicle across the ditch. Stevie C, welcome along. Great to have you in. Hope you are well and having a good start to your week, wherever you might be joining us from. If you're new to our experience with the Putneys on the Oaks, feel free to ask any questions that you might have. I do my best to keep track of people that pop up and say hi, but my memory is not what it once was. I'm going to have to consult the map here in a minute to find out where on earth we're going. I've got the wrong view of the map on. Right, so we're going to need to go left, that much I'm sure of. Zaki Hyder! That language I do not recognise, but welcome. We're English only in here, champ. Well, welcome from Cheshire. We have had a couple of your countrymen in already for your morning. Some have headed off to work. Others may be at work and lurking. All these things are perfectly acceptable in this stream. If you weren't aware, I'm in Melbourne, Australia, so it's Monday evening for us, and there are a few Aussies in the house. Brizzy and Tasmania jump immediately to mind. May even have central New South Wales. Now, as we come up here, this intersection, what is the best way to get to the field that I want? That's the one I want. And I'm here and we're going there. So we want to do a right and go through town. Nothing coming. It was a wonderful Monday down here. I really like the way Farm Sim Brisco's done these villages with, you know, just minor variations in the houses, and just looks true. He must have spent so much time on it. Now, field 28 should be somewhere up in front of us up here. Past the fuel depot, I think. Bit of a pond there, looks very nice. We haven't been up and had cause to come up to this part of the map before. Now, no, still going. At least in this tractor, I'm not in too much danger of speeding through the village. I do have a number plate on. Now, let's see. What's the right way into this field, I wonder? It's whoa! That got a bit exciting. Oh, got him. Crash counter. Trying to do 3 things at once, that's always a bad idea. Trying to decide which side of the field will be the entrance. And it looks like it may be the other side. That's a bit rude. We had a 50-50 shot and we got it wrong. Okay, round we go. That's the field we want right there. Now left. Looks like there might be a... This might be a farm actually on our left-hand side here, and it might be accessed through the back of the yard. So let's duck in there. Yeah, that looks like it right there. If I hadn't been trying to have an accident, I probably would have noticed it on the way past. Let's see, what's the best way to go about this? I reckon if we set up on the other side over there, if we do an end, like so. We go on there, 1%, 2%. It's not going at a prodigious little bit more economical than lime, but we're still going to get through a bit. However, by now, once you're pretty maneuverable, I'm fairly confident I can. What's the heading down here? I reckon if I stick you on a with one of the kids, you might do a fairly reasonable job. And what we can do is head back and find our... Let it do its autosave thing. Where did our... Let's go to the shop first. Let's see if by chance our vehicle is in the yard. It is not, so that suggests that it got lost along the way or stuck. That's why we're here. Buy a couple of bags. What can we afford? We've got to have... I think we can afford 3. So we'll leave those there for the moment. Now let's see if we can find our vehicle. Work in the field, work in the field, work in the field. So where did our driver go? Okay. Well, you got stuck on the only tree in sight. Just as well we came to check. Did I miss a row there, maybe? Yeah, it looks like I did. Back it up. Right. Okay, now, where's that defender? What are you doing in there? What course brings you through here? That's what we have to figure out. I thought I'd... There's a course you end up on that brings you into this yard. Maybe from somewhere else. I'll have to follow you at some point in the future. That explains why you got stuck. You take a shortcut through here somewhere. I'll have to have a look at that. It's something to investigate. I put a, because this is, I think this is the main oats farm. And so the auto drive course that I use, I put a local designator to stop vehicles coming this way, but it looks like there's another way in that I have to sort out. That's okay. But that explains why we didn't end up at the shop yet. Turn you off. You look like you're doing a fair job. And it looks like the field is going to be closer to 3,000 litres than 4, so that's good. A bit cheaper. This contract pays fairly well. 15,000, so we didn't take any of the bigger ones because we weren't sure how much time we would have and how much we could afford. So that's what that's the current state of play. Let's go find it's our seeding. And you're going to run out of seed before you get to the end, so we'll need to bring a seed bag down to you. You're almost at the... You're slowing down there. Interesting. No such thing as give way to the right on these roundabouts. I'm in it, I'm going. Alright, let's turn you off because we're almost at the dealership. must say I am very tempted to make a cheeky little back entrance just over there to the store. Now I'm just going to lift these in for the minute because I want to reduce the amount of fertilizer that falls out of the bag into the back of the trailer. And if I use that tool, I will tip a bit more out than I want. Right. So now we can head across to field 28. Jens Herneman, if I've got your name correctly pronounced, apologies if I have not, but welcome along. Great to have you in. Hope you are well this fine Monday. Let's check the road before we do anything. I think we're going out to the first left. We are turned at the roundabout. My daughter would have called those spirit fingers, Jens. She would have been very pleased to see them. Oh, that's right. This camera keeps clicking in. So we're just doing a delivery of fertilizer across to the field 28 where we're doing the contract. So we should be there momentarily. To duck back and get that, top up that seed because our penny will be out of seed. Now, which one do I want? That's kind of 6-1, isn't it? Oh, they go up and around. We haven't been up and around, so let's do that. Just see a little bit more of the map. You want to get a sense of what it's like in real life. Farm Sim Brisco did a drive through of the exact area where he's sighted the map and videoed it in 2 parts, which is on his page. I put the link in the description. If you want to have a look, he very kindly referenced the Putneys and drove past where we've set the Putney farm up, so that was pretty cool. It's amazing how similar it looks. Can you... G'day, Mark Bendorf? Now I can't tell whether your typo is do I have any truck mods or something about fire truck mods. So I can say for certain there are no fire truck mods that I bother with. But if you want to have another crack at your question, I'd be happy to give it another go. We have one truck on the farm here. It's an old Fiat. We're very much in our startup mode, so struggling to get on top of a almost $1 million mortgage at the moment, which is why we're doing a little bit of everything. We've only just begun. We've got the kids out doing contracts, but the local farmers won't lend us any equipment, so we can only do contracts if we've got the gear. We've got to go around, don't we? A bit more traffic out on this Monday. There we go. Now, how did we do for timing? Are we still running? 73%, so got a fair old way through the contract, which is good. Where are we here? Okay, down there. Needs a little bit of a wash. Rightio. Well, that's pretty good timing. So we'll just let her run out. Got all the girls driving today. Don't know if this is Michelle or Jude. We might stop you there. 80%. I'm happy with that. Just finish it off. And then we can have a little convoy back to our place. Right. Yeah, so 80%. This will only take a second to finish. That'll be a nice little job done, actually. If anyone in chat has questions about the farm or how we're playing here, feel free to sing out. Did do a quick tour just before. If you want to go back to prior episodes of the stream, you'll see the path that we're on. There we go, 87%. A nice little farm here. Let's just loop around. We can finish that bit on the way back if we need to. Not feeling inclined to put any more fertilizer on the field than what they requested. Six, getting there. Almost got it sorted by the looks. Look over. you would require us just to do this little bit. There we go. Contract complete. Very nice. Now, Mark, just on the Mark Vendorf, just on the off chance you were asking, looks like our seeder has run out, about trucks that we're running. We have this little guy, the Fiat 682 is the truck we have on the farm. That's the only one at the moment. Got a range of small tractors, one medium tractor, and a bunch of older style equipment that we'll upgrade when we get some cash. Now you can head back to we want you to now which button do I want here? I want you to deliver. I just want you to drive actually to Putney Main Yard. Thank you very much. There we go. And we might do the same with you. Now let's go. Now we're back in the main yard. We need this tractor. I was in the correct tractor. Take the bucket off. So we need a bag of seed to take down to the seeder. There's the Fiat just sitting there. Now, how much seed's in this one? That'll do beautifully. Out. Yeah. Still ploughing away. The seeding's got to be getting pretty close. On the headlands. Excellent. Probably shouldn't be driving across the freshly seeded field, but oops. Can't get good help. You're just going to be awkward, ain't you? There we go. Beautiful. You back. Next waypoint. And down you go. It's looking lovely. Now the question that I can't remember the answer is, I don't believe we have a roller at this point. You won't need any more seed for this field, so we can take you back. Be able to get the seeder going on that one shortly. So with that in mind, we won't drive all the way back. So you'll certainly need a top up. No point in taking the seed back. The tractor looks like it's got a bad case of the go slows. There's been a bid on the auction, so that's that field that the grass field we were looking at before. 62,000 is the current highest bidder on the auction. In no danger of doing any damage in reverse on this tractor. 3 miles an hour is your top speed. Put you down and right. Probably coffee o'clock. Oh, recognise that tractor. That's one we need to put away. Well, actually, yeah, we'll wait till the crop comes up, I think, before we fertilise our own crops. We might wait till it strikes. And that one's looking like this tractor got home quite capably. Let's move. There's a fair chance this tractor's in the way. Put you around the end there. Let's move you out the way so the other one can come in. We can go finish that contract. See if there's anything else we want to dance our arm on. Let's have a look. Rightio, so fertilising contracts are the only thing on offer. This is the one we want to collect on. So 15,000. Field 16 might be a bit smaller. How far away is it? Field 16 is where? 17, 18, 16, up near the store. It's a fair old drive. think we might pass on that one for the moment. It looks like you need a little bit of maintenance, so we'll go and do that. Fuel's okay. Got us through a few things today, pretty much on track for what the plan was. We'll be starting to, the afternoon's drawing to a close. We got one field seeded, we got a contract finished. Repair bill there is a bit ouch. That seeding is, looks like he's got one more lap to go, so that's a good spot. Ploughing's still got a bit of work, so the oats all can go in, start going into there next time. Where am I going to put that lifter? It's a good question. I haven't kind of decided all of the storage locations. Yeah, just use the sponge to give everything a little bit of a spruce up. Thank Yoss for the bucket and sponge. That's the trick. Maybe we whack you in there. Reversing you is not the world's most funnest activity. Okay, give that up. Let's do it the shooty way. You're also sort of in the way now. I need to get that fertilizer out of there. I think that's where we might leave it for today, folks. It's kind of a natural stopping point. We pretty much finished the seeding. We're coming to the end of the afternoon, and it is 2 hours. So the plan is I'll be back streaming in about 10 hours time on Newlands. So the Tuesday morning Australian time, 8 a.m, Monday evening US and Europe. And that'll be on Newlands with our Maize Plus playthrough. And we'll be back here later in the week, 3 days time. So on Friday morning Australian time, Thursday afternoon, evening for the US and Europe. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks everyone. See ya.